से Hello students, today we will continue our discussion in biomolecules. In my previous lectures, I had discussed about constitution of carbohydrates. What are monosaccharides, what are disaccharides, what are polysaccharides. Then we have taken individual examples: glucose, how structure of glucose can be determined, fructose. Then in disaccharides, sucrose, maltose, lactose, and in polysaccharides, starch and cellulose. In today's discussion, we will move to the second most important biomolecule, that is protein. The word protein is taken from word proteos, that means of prime importance. Why it is called so? Because proteins are essential for the build-up of life forms. They are essential for the sustenance of life forms. Most of the enzymes, most of the hormones that are responsible for the regulation of various biochemical reactions, various biochemical processes, they are also proteins. Not only this, in human body or otherwise in other living creatures, proteins are involved in the build-up of life form. These muscles, these hairs, nails, hoof, horn, scale, all these things are proteins. So for the proper build-up of life forms, proteins are essential, and that is why they are named so. The name protein is derived from the word proteos, that means of prime importance. As far as chemistry of proteins is concerned, here we need to understand about basic unit from which protein is made and different labels of structure of proteins. A very brief idea about structure is needed. Here we don't need to go in much of the details. Now, when proteins are hydrolyzed, then protein is hydrolyzed to a polypeptide chain, and finally these polypeptide chains are broken into end product, which is an alpha amino acid. So proteins are the biopolymers of alpha amino acids that are joined together with the help of an amide type of bond, which is called as peptide bond or peptide linkage. So basically, basic building block of a protein is alpha amino acid. So before going to the details of proteins, let us understand something about alpha amino acid. So amino group is NH2, acid group is COOH, and if both of these groups are present, at alpha position with respect to each other, then resulting compounds are known as alpha amino acid. And a general structure of an alpha amino acid may be drawn like this. So this is the function group, and with reference to this is the alpha carbon, and this amino group is present at this alpha carbon. So this NH2 group and this COOH group both are present at alpha position with respect to each other. So this is called as an alpha amino acids. And different type of alpha amino acids, they are joined with each other. This is an alpha amino acid, alpha amino acid. They alpha amino acids, they combine with each other to form dipeptide. Then they again combine to form polypeptide. And finally these polypeptides gives rise to the proteins. So what is the basic building block of protein? It is alpha amino acid. Out of different type of proteins that are known, 26 different type of alpha amino acids are known. And to any form of protein, these 21 or more of these 26 alpha amino acids, they are present. So a total of 26 alpha amino acids are known. Now we talk of classification of alpha amino acids. Classification of alpha amino acids. These alpha amino acids can be classified on two parameters. On one parameter, they are classified as essential and non-essential alpha amino acids, and on the other parameter, they are classified as neutral, acidic or basic alpha amino acid. As you know that in an alpha amino acid, both acidic and basic groups both are present. So if number of acidic group, that is COOH group, and number of basic group, that is NH2 group, is same, then it is a neutral alpha amino acid. While if number of COOH group is more and number of NH2 group is less, then it is called an acidic alpha amino acid. And if number of NH2 group is more, then it is called a basic alpha amino acid. So let us take some examples. This is CH3CH NH2 COOH. So in this amino acid, there is one COOH group and there is one NH2 group. So acidic group is equal to basic group, and this is an example of neutral alpha amino acid, glycine. Its name is glycine. Then we come to another example. In this molecule, there are two COOH groups and there is only one NH2 group. That means what? Here acidic group are more in comparison to basic group. Here acidic groups are more, so it is an acidic alpha amino acid, aspartic acid. Its name is aspartic acid. Then we take another example, NH2 CH2 whole 4 CH NH2 COOH. In this compound there are two NH2 groups and only one COOH group. So basic groups is more. Here basic group is more than acidic group and this is a basic alpha amino acid. So this is one classification of alpha amino acids which is based on the relative number of NH2 groups and COOH group. If number of COOH group and NH2 group is equal, then it is a neutral alpha amino acid. If COOH group is more than that of NH2 group, then it is an acidic alpha amino acid. And if NH2 group is more than COOH group, then it is basic alpha amino acid. So this is one way of classifying it. There is another way of classifying alpha amino acids. On the basis of that parameter, they are classified as essential and non-essential alpha amino acids. What are they? It can be understood simply by the meaning of these two terms, essential and non-essential. Term essential means something without which work is hampered, which is absolutely necessary. There are certain alpha amino acids which are not synthesized in our body, and our body is solely dependent on our food for their supplementation. And if they are not properly supplemented through food, then normal body functioning is hampered. These alpha amino acids are called essential alpha amino acids. These essential alpha amino acids are those amino acids which are not synthesized in our human body and they must be supplied through food like valine, leucine, isoleucine, tryptophan. These are the certain examples of alpha amino acids which are not synthesized in our body. Our body is solely dependent on the food that is being given. Then second category is non-essential amino acids. These are those alpha amino acids, they are supplied through the food and they are also synthesized in our body. So if somehow external supplies are hampered, even then body functioning is not disturbed. So they are called non-essential. While essential alpha amino acids are those which has to be supplied from the outside. Examples are glycine and aspartic acid. zwitterion. This is structure of an alpha amino acid. In an alpha amino acid, an acidic group COOH group is present and a basic group NH2 group is present. Means within the molecule there is a group which is capable of donating a proton, and within the same molecule there is another group which is capable of accepting a proton. So what happens? Acidic group loses its proton, basic group accepts a proton, and an intramolecular neutralization takes place. And as a result of this process, a neutral species is formed which contains both the charges, that is dipolar in nature, that has got a negative charge and that has got a positive charge, and this neutral dipolar ion is called as a zwitterion. This is acidic group which is capable of donating a proton. This is basic group which is capable of accepting a proton. So this loses a proton, this accepts a proton, and an intramolecular neutralization takes place, forming NH3 plus and COO minus, and this neutral dipolar ion is called as a zwitterion. Now, since this zwitterion is ionic in nature, thereby properties of alpha amino acids resembles more to that of ionic compounds. Although if we look at this structure, it seems to be a perfectly covalent compound. There are no charges, and we expect that it should be insoluble in water, it should have got a low melting point or low boiling point, etc. But actual properties of alpha amino acids resembles more to that of ionic compounds. They are crystalline in nature, they have got high melting points, and they are soluble in water, and all these properties are attributed to the presence of this dipolar ion or zwitterion. Now, let us see one more thing. Suppose this is alpha amino acid, and this alpha amino acid is placed in an alkaline medium. So alkaline medium, base will abstract a proton from here and it will have RCH NH2 COO minus, and again when this form is placed in acid, this is its anionic form. But if the same alpha amino acid is placed in an acidic medium, then what will happen? This acid or this proton is accepted by this basic group, and you have something like this. Cationic form. So what will happen? For an alpha amino acid, if medium is basic, then it largely exists in its anionic form, and during this time, if an electrolysis is carried out, it will move towards anode, positive electrode. On the other hand, if acidic medium is present, then alpha amino acid will exist in its cationic form, and if during this time electrolysis is carried out, it will move towards cathode, that is negatively charged electrode. But there is an intermediate pH value at which no net migration of ions is observed to either of the electrodes, and that intermediate pH is called as isoelectric point. Got it? Let me explain it once again so that you can understand it properly. This is an alpha amino acid which contains an acidic group, which contains a basic group, which contains a COOH group and contains an H2 group. So when this alpha amino acid is placed in a basic medium, so the base which is present outside abstract a proton from here, base will accept a proton from here and it will exist in anionic form, and in basic medium if electrolysis is carried out, then this negatively charged ion or this anionic form will move towards anode. On the contrary, if this alpha amino acid is placed in an acidic medium, then this NH2 group will accept a proton and it will exist in cationic form, exist in the form of a cation, and here if this electrolysis is carried out, then this positive form will move towards cathode. But there is an intermediate pH at which both forms are present and no net migration of ions are observed at either of the electrodes during electrolysis, and that intermediate pH is called as isoelectric point of that alpha amino acid. So isoelectric point is the pH at which no net migration of alpha amino acids is observed. So this is about isoelectric point. So this is the introduction of proteins. In this module I told you the meaning of term protein, means which is of prime importance. These are the biopolymers of alpha amino acids. Alpha amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. These alpha amino acids, they are joined with each other with the help of peptide bonds to form a polypeptide chain. Then these polypeptide chains, they further condenses to give you a protein. This alpha amino acid, there are a total of 26 alpha amino acids that are known, out of which few alpha amino acids are not synthesized or in the body, and for proper functioning of human body or any other living system, they must be supplied from the outside. They must be supplied from the outside through food. These alpha amino acids are called essential alpha amino acids. Well, there are certain alpha amino acids which are also synthesized in our human body, and even they are not properly supplied through food, but normal body functioning is not hampered. They are called non-essential alpha amino acids. These alpha amino acids are also classified on the basis of relative number of NH2 group and COOH groups that are present in their structure. If number of NH2 group and COOH group is same, then it is called a neutral alpha amino acid. If number of COOH group is more, then it is called an acidic alpha amino acid. And if number of NH2 group is there, then it is called a basic alpha amino acid. Now, in an alpha amino acid, both acidic and basic groups are present in their structure. In the structure of an alpha amino acid, there is a group which can donate a proton. There is another group which can accept a proton. And because of this, an intramolecular neutralization takes place. Transfer of proton takes place within the molecule, and as a result of which one part of molecule acquires a negative charge and other part of molecule acquires a positive charge. And this neutral dipolar ion, which is formed as a result of this intramolecular neutralization, is called as a Zwitter ion. There are many other chemical compounds which are also known to exist in dipolar ion or Zwitter ion form. And because of presence of this Zwitter ion, properties of alpha amino acids resembles more with that of ionic compounds. These properties resembles more with that of ionic compound. They have got crystalline nature. They have got high melting points, they are soluble in water, conducts electricity in aqueous solution state, etc. And in acidic medium, alpha amino acids largely exist in their cationic form. In basic medium, they largely exist in their anionic form. And in their respective cationic and anionic forms, they are expected to move towards anode, towards cathode under the influence of applied electric field. However, there is an intermediate pH at which no net migration of any ion takes place towards any of the electrodes under the influence of an applied external electric field. There is a pH. If at that pH you take a solution of an alpha amino acid and you apply electrical current, there is no net migration of any ion will observed towards any of the electrodes. And this intermediate pH is called as isoelectric point for that alpha amino acid. So I am quite sure that with this discussion you are able to understand basics of structure of protein, what is an alpha amino acid, what is essential alpha amino acid and non-essential alpha amino acid, what is a Zwitter ion, why melting points of alpha amino acids are very high, and what is isoelectric point. In our next module we will discuss the structure of proteins, how it is understood at different levels. By then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.